We are going to start working on Unit 3 using the data to look for trends. So I wanted to just quickly go over how you are going to find some of the information that you need from the slides. You're going to be working with the workbook, and we'll be going back and forth since I'm not in the classroom. So feel free to pause when you need to, or rewind, or review if you need to. So in Unit 3, we're going to be working more with the design recipe, making sure that you really understand what that how to use the design recipe and how to make it. And also we're going to start working with creating some scatter plots as a means to visualize relationships between different data sets and different columns in the data. So we are going to click on the slides here, and that's going to open up the information. We've already done this with the review. You wanted to make sure that we copied Unit 2 in Pirate, and if you've followed the first video, you would have already done that, and made sure we had an is fixed, a gender, a cat, and an is young in our Pirate code for Unit 3. So we have already done that, so we can move forward. So we're going to take a look at page 15 of your workbook. In page 15, let me go to page 15 here. Page down. So page 15 of our workbook, you're going to be working on creating a new design recipe for a function called birth year. And the birth year function is going to consume a row of animals and produce that year that the animal was born. So I want you to think about, well, how can you determine the age of an animal based on the information that we have? Okay, so you may need to look at the contracts page. So you'll be flipping between contracts page and the page 15, which is actually page 17 on here. And I want you to take a moment to see if you're going to create a function called the birth year, at least start by filling out the top part. What is the name of this function? What data is it going to consume or use, a row of the animals table? And what are we going to get? We want to get the age that the animal, produces the year that the animal was born. So not the age, but the year. So what kind of information are we going to get here? And then I want you to write in English what this particular function is going to be. So take a moment to do that. Okay, great. If you still need more time, press pause, and then you can come back to this. Okay, so we are going to again create some examples, and we're going to use animal A and animal B as our example. And you can go back to previous design recipe examples to help you determine how we're going to create this. And then we want to create our function. So I'm going to let you think about what information do we need to know in order for us to determine what year an animal was born. I will give you a hint. This year is 2019. And in the column of data that we have in our animals table, we have an option called age. How would we create or find out what year an animal was born if we have this year, 2019, and we also have an animal's age? So take a moment and think about it and see if you can figure it out. Okay, so if you're still figuring it out, press pause. If not, I will show you what we're looking at here. So now let's take a look at what the design recipe might look like. So a design recipe we will call birth year. It's given us birth year. It consumes a row of the animals table. And then it's going to give us a number, right? It's going to tell us the year that that animal was born. And you can see that this consumes an animal, produces the year that they were born, subtracting age from the current year. So we're actually doing a mathematical calculation. So if you look here, we want to find 2019 is our current year, and we want to subtract the animal A age from the 2019 information. Remember, the type of data under age is a number, so we can subtract 2019, subtract a number, which is in the age column. And that should give us a function that allows us to calculate the actual year that an animal was born. So now what I want you to do is I want you to type this information into your definition side of Pirate. I want you to run it, make sure that the examples work, and then I want you to run this birth year function for animal A, B, C, and D, and then take a screenshot.